Welcome to the Inspired Living with Autoimmunity podcast, the podcast for high achievers who want to stay sharp, focused, and full of energy despite their diagnosis. With your host, National Board Certified Functional Medicine Health Coach, Julie Michelson, where Julie helps you take your power back from autoimmunity. And now here's your host, Julie Michelson.
Welcome back to the Inspired Living with Autoimmunity podcast. I'm your host, Julie Michelson, and today we are joined by Dr. Louise Swartswalter, who's been helping transform lives for over 20 years using a unique, multidimensional approach. She's the founder of the Brain Soul Success Academy and the creator of the Brain System. Today, we discuss the importance of continuing your healing journey if you still don't fully feel like your true self. Dr. Louise takes us through a brain-soul balancing exercise with me acting as a surrogate. Our conversation will likely introduce you to new levels of healing that you may not have countered before. Dr. Louise, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to be with you today.
Oh, it's just a joy to be with you, Julie. So thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. So I love to right away just let the listeners get to know you. And I know most of us got to this world through our own journey or the journey of somebody close to us. So can you share with us, how did you become the beautiful brain expert?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I lost my brain power, so that's how it started. But I was really, really sick. So for your audience here, I was diagnosed with so many different autoimmune diseases, if you will. They really didn't know. There was like, hey, it's chronic fatigue, it's fibromyalgia, it's lupus. They really just didn't know what was wrong with me. And so it led me on this whole path of doctor hopping. And what really happened was after my son was born, I have two kids, he's the youngest, I really crashed. Looking back, I probably had a whole lot of hormone thing going on, and no one picked it up. No one figured it out. And I ended up with panic attacks and depression and all kinds of things. And a dentist said to me, let's take your mercury fillings out. You'll feel better. And I had 14 mercury fillings. So I'm a 1950s baby. I grew up on sugar. My mom cooked really well, but we did eat a lot of sugar. And she had terrible teeth. I think I inherited them. So, 14 mercury fillings. He convinced me that getting those out would help my health. Mm-hmm. But we did it all in one day. So I was already sick. I already had kind of fatigue. I was sleeping at 3:00 in the afternoon every day. Two kids at home that I was raising. And after those mercury fillings were taken out, I literally crashed. I was sensitive to electricity. I was sensitive to all foods. I was sensitive to my gas heat. I was sensitive to everything in the world. And I ended up on an oxygen tank for about 3 years. So I had this big tank in my den and I could take the cord into the kitchen. And so it was awful. When I look back, I don't even know how I survived that time. But it did lead me on this journey of having to heal and at that time, this is around 1983, I did not know anything else other than I'm not feeling good and I got to get better. And so I ended up in the whole natural world. Great chiropractors, acupuncturists, I used different sort of dermatron kind of machines. I would do anything at that time.
Sure.
I changed my diet. I found an orthomolecular, doctor who helped me change my diet and put me on a lot of really powerful supplements. And I started to get a little better and my brain started healing. But it was definitely a long journey. And on that journey, I realized just changing my diet wasn't enough. And I kept seeking. It's took so long. I was like, okay, I guess I got to do something else. I still don't feel like me. So if you've said that to yourself, I don't feel like myself.
Yes.
You're in the right place listening here to Julie and her beautiful podcast, because this is so important for you to hear that you can do it all and you can do it faster. So I discovered that we had to do the mental, we had to do the emotional, we had to do the spiritual. And then I even discovered we had to do the energy field. And when I added that piece in, my life catapulted forward. And so what I created was a system. And how it happened was my kids who were dyslexic. So my first career was a special ed teacher. And then I took a therapy class and became a dyslexic therapist. And I worked with students who couldn't read, write, and spell. And we did like therapy for their brain. And I would see them 3 and 4 times a week. And how we changed their brains was we did a multi-sensory program. We did what you see, with what you say, with what you hear, with what you write, with what you feel. And they would jump 2 grade levels in reading in just 6 months.
Wow.
And this light bulb went off one day. I was like, wait a minute. It's taken me like 10 years. It's 10, 12 years into my own healing journey. I'm not where I want to be yet. And I went, wait a minute. To get their brains better, we did this multi-sensory program. We're not doing that in healing. So I designed my own. So that's how the brain system came to be. And so the system is 5 parts, and it's really an acronym that stands for B is body, working with the body. So that's all the stuff that you do and all the functional medicine docs do, right? Where we're looking at your lifestyle and your sleep and your foods and your supplements. So B is body. R is releasing. And releasing is releasing the mental chatter and the emotional baggage. We've got to release the trauma of you even being sick or whatever led up to that. And even ancestral programs that could be great-great-grandmas. And then A is aligned with spirit, because spirit's always a part of healing. And then I is integrating it all. And then what I feel is missed in a lot of healing programs is putting in the new program. So N equals new program. How are you going to show up now? What are your goals and your purpose? What do you want to be doing? And when we focus on all those pieces together, it catapults people forward more in their healing journey. And they don't stay stuck in this little, okay, just the nutrition thing has helped me and I've reached this plateau, but I still am not me yet.
Yeah.
So that's how I discovered it. And it's just, again, just like everyone else, Julia, is my own healing journey.
Of course. And wow, I we have so many similarities in our story. I have shared on the podcast before, my daughter had mercury toxicity, and she got that from me. I said, you're welcome, no charge, because I too had many fillings replaced conventionally. I just say improperly, but conventionally years ago. And that was right. I can't remember if I was either pregnant with her, or it was right before I got pregnant with her. So just from, so there's so many things we know now that we didn't know then. And I can't even imagine, because I know for me, was one of my underlying triggers. I can't imagine already having been sick and then having that, your body take that blow is incredible. And I love what you said. So we're going to say it a bunch more times today of this, if you don't feel fully like you, then don't stop. Right.
Don't stop.
Don't listen to, often we talk about it in the sense of so many of us, which it sounds like you had to, oh, your labs are fine, you're fine, or they don't know. So, we'll just see if this diagnosis fits or that label sticks, but this whole trust yourself, we know when we're not right if we listen to it. And I love this conversation, taking it to the next level of, diet is important and helpful and necessary. We know, the gut plays such a huge role in autoimmunity and just wellness in general, but there is so much more to it. And so it may be such a relief. I mean, that was my journey. I was lucky to move the needle at all just with diet. And I probably could have just stayed there because it still was a relief from how I felt before that. So I love that. If you don't feel fully yourself, keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah. I always call it getting it back to being 100% your soul truth. So your brain is a spiritual organ as well as a physical organ. So it has little like cracks and crevices in it, little spaces. and the masters teach us that we heal in the spaces. So those spaces in the brain, and I can show you if you picture like nerve endings. So when there's a nerve ending, there's actually a space between it. So that space is called a synapse. And the little serotonin beads have to jump through that synapse. So serotonin being a neurotransmitter that probably most of you have heard before, right? It's the happiness hormone.
Yes.
And if that space is like gunked up with something, and that's the spiritual brain. So if you're not working on the spiritual and you're not clearing the energy field, I show that pain starts in the field. All the diet changes you make and all the supplements you take are not going to get you where you want to go. You've got to do it all. So what I figured out was a process to clear those spaces in the brain, to clear the traumas and the emotions that got stuck, whether it happened when you were age 6 and you were invalidated, or whether it happened at 16, or whether it was mom's emotions in the womb that you assimilated, or whether it's great-great-grandpa's thing that's in your energy field. And when we clear that, you literally can come back into alignment and be what I call 100% you, your soul's truth. And to watch people get there and then watch their gift shine in the world is just what makes me so excited. I love
That's why you do what you do.
That's what I do.
For those of you listening to the audio, Dr. Louise literally just lit up when she said that. And that is why we do what we do, because, there is nothing better than watching somebody reclaim their full self.
Yes, it's just such a gift. And it's such an honor to be with people. I have the best, amazing, most group of people right now that I'm working with. And I literally wake up and go to bed every night I just love these people. I'm so blessed, so it really is about, us being in service, but it's because we've had a journey, and now we want to give back, so it's like everything I learned, if whatever I can pass on, I can't keep secrets. I wasn't even able to hide Christmas presents in the closet for the kids, it's like,
well, and I've been accused of many times of not having a filter, so I can't either.
It's like, okay, I just have to do this. But yeah, so there are some tools that we can teach too on how to balance the brain, because when you balance the brain, it balances. It's like brain, heart, gut.
I love that.
That we're whole people, we're aligned, and so when you're in the flow, you'll feel it. And when you're in your flow, what's happening is your mind or your brain is connected to your heart. And those are the days when you feel like everything is flowing.
Yes.
Almost like synchronicities seem to happen.
Yes.
And
the
so
world is full of serendipity.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so how can we stay there? So what if we have tools that we can teach you, the brain system tools, so you can stay there? What would that be?
I love that. We were talking before I hit record, about, unfortunately, so often people are so far away from that feeling. It's been so long. And I was thinking, as you said it, yes, we are whole beings. That, the word holistic used to be like out there, right? Like alternative. Yet we need that full alignment to realize the full expression of ourselves. And then what a gift we are in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know you're doing good work helping your people do that too. I'm thinking the best way to show you this or share this would maybe do a little demonstration. Are you up for that?
That would be great. And let's try to verbalize it as much as we can too. Okay. For those that are listening on audio.
Yes, we absolutely could do that. So what I'm thinking is this is a process called brain soul balancing, and it gets you back aligned again, back to your soul's truth. And we start with a goal or intention. So everything really starts with your intention or your goal. And so maybe if could we use you as a surrogate for the audience?
Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
So if I was going to ask you this question, Julie, and I said, hey, what would you like to have change or be different? What would be your goal or intention? And maybe kind of think of your audience here, because we'll be clearing that too.
Yeah. I would say, for sure, my intention is for everybody listening to know that they can heal, like to genuinely, truly know that they can heal. They can find that full self.
Okay. So I know I can heal fully.
Yes.
Okay. So if you knew that you could heal fully, what would you tell yourself then you're not telling yourself now?
This is tricky for me because I do know that.
Okay.
But I didn't for so long. So I'm going
Right.
to channel my past self
Okay.
if that'll
That would be
work.
beautiful. Yes, because we're
Yeah.
going to walk the goal down is what I'm doing. So I'm actually
Yeah.
using NLP questions to help walk the goal down.
Yes.
And then we're going to clear blocks on it. So it'll help you, but people listening will probably feel it too.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So your old self, if you knew you could heal fully, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself, take one step.
Okay.
Just start with one step.
And if you were telling yourself to start with one step and you knew that you could heal fully, what would you be allowing then you're not fully allowing now?
The word coming up is reclaiming. So that, knowing I could reclaim that life.
I reclaim my life.
Yes.
Okay. And if you were reclaiming your life and you were starting with that one step and you knew you could heal fully, how would you feel?
Empowered.
Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those goals or intentions in a box. So I'm drawing a box on a paper.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm putting in that box, feeling empowered, knowing that you can heal fully, and you're going to reclaim your life by taking one step at a time. And then what I ask, and this is kind of an intuitive process, is I say, who or what has pulled you away from those goals? And I use muscle testing. So I'm using kind of a medical intuitive process here where I'm just going into the energy field and figuring out what happened, what's pulling you away from having that for yourself. 1, 2, there's at least 3 strings. And so then I draw 3 strings off the box. Okay. And I'm just asking questions in the field. And I'm saying, does the first string have something to do with a male, a female, or a situation? It's a situation. Is it a recent or old? It's an old situation. Is it something with Julie? Yes. Something in her lifetime? Yes. Something 0 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 10, 11. Something when you were age 11. And then I say, is this with mom? Is this with dad? Is this with a friend? Probably a friend. Now, you may or may not remember anything at age 11. Anything popping up for you when you think of age 11?
With a friend, anything age 11 with a friend. Not off the top of my head, but I've done a lot of work earlier. So now I'm like, ooh, did I miss a spot?
There's always layers.
Oh, of course. I was going to say I've done earlier and later and ancestral and yeah, all of it.
Oh, this is good.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even your stuff. So it can be friend stuff in your energy.
Yep. That's exactly what it was. Yep.
Yeah, because I got unsupported and paranoid.
Yep.
As 2 words. So how this works is it's the power of the spoken word, or the truth will set you free. So we name the words, and then I do this process that releases it at the soul level. And so it just feels like deeper to me than many of you are going to know a lot of these if I name them, than Reiki or pranic healing or EFT, which are awesome. These are all awesome mindset, clearing energy kind of techniques. This just feels like it cuts to the chase and goes a little deeper. That's how it feels, and that's what people tell me. So this is paranoid, unsupported, and possessive. So is that the energy that was in the field at age 11? Yes. Is there something else? Yes. Is it on this sheet? No, isn't it? So I have cheat sheets of words that I'm looking at.
Okay.
So I'm just muscle testing, like,
Yeah.
what are some of the words, or if they're not on here, then I look for them. Frustration and love unreceived. Now, this could even be your friend's stuff, but you took it on because you care about her, so that's what it could be. And then we say, all right, well, what did that do? How did that pull you away from feeling empowered and fully reclaiming, your healing? And so the words that clear is we say, was that a liar, a thief, or a fraud? And I get thief. And then we say, what did it do? Did it kill, steal, or destroy? I got destroy. What did it destroy? And so then we're looking at those reclaiming words. So, at the time it destroyed your friendship. So we're reclaiming friendship, peace, tolerance, and trust. So we're going to say, I destroy and uncreate any judgments, assumptions, projections, conclusions, decisions about the situation at age 11, anything in your field at that time, pulling you away from having this goal of healing fully, starting with that one step, reclaiming your life and feeling empowered. Good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And then I have you take an open hand and hit the bottom of your foot. So even with the shoe on or whatever, we're just going to hit our foot. Okay. Awesome. Good job. So then we look at the next string and we say, was this a male, female, or a situation? It's another situation. Was it with something with Julie? Yes. Was it Julie and family? No. Julie herself? Yes. Something with yourself at a certain age? Yes. Was it the womb? No. I think it's more teenager, 10 through 15, 15 to 20, 15, 16, 17, 18, 17, 18, probably around 18, age 18. Was this age 18 with you, with a friend, a boyfriend, girlfriend, family member? Do you have any siblings?
I do.
Yeah.
Many.
Sisters or brothers?
Both. Two of each.
Oh, two of each. Okay. I feel like this is a sister.
Okay.
Okay. So you're age 18. Is this a younger sister or an older sister? Could be an older sister. Do you have an older sister?
Yep.
Okay. So let's find out, is this your stuff or her stuff? So is this Julie's stuff, her sister's stuff? It's your sister's stuff in your field.
Yep, I got it.
You got it? Something popping up at age 18? Yeah. Okay. Here. 1, 2, 3. We got the word rigid. Rigid and unprotected. We had that one before. No, we had unsupported before. Okay. Rigid, unprotected. Annoyed? No. Peeved.
Mm-hmm.
Peeved. And worthless. She's not as strong as you.
No.
Mm-mm. No. And maybe even a little jealous of you.
Maybe.
And then I get confusion. Is there another word we need to know about this situation? Is it A through M, M through Z, M, N, O? Is it an O word? Overwhelmed? No. Oppressed? No. Opinionated? Opinionated. It's opinionated. So then we say, was that a liar, thief, or fraud, or all three? It's all three. So what did it do? It killed, stole, and destroyed something. So at the time, it killed your freedom. So we're reclaiming more freedom. Stole the vision of what you thought would be. And destroyed your guidance. So you're going to get back more guidance. Awesome.
Love it.
You're feeling a little lighter, aren't you?
I love it.
Okay, so we're going to say destroy and uncreate any judgments, assumptions, projections, conclusions, decisions about the situation at 18. Anything in your field there that affected you from feeling empowered and reclaiming your life, being able to start with one step and heal fully, good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Then we're just going to tap your foot again. What's this other strings? What did it affect here? Is this really, really old? Is this ancestral? Is this mom, dad's side? Dad's side. How far back? Dad's side. Is this more than 5, 10, more than 15 generations back? Wow. 18 generations back on dad's side. So what's dad's first name?
Arthur.
Arthur. Okay. So this is great, 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 great grandma or grandpa. This is just really old energy.
Yep.
So I got the word self-destructive. Oppressed. Oh, you're going to feel lighter. I think everybody's going to feel lighter. This is good. Protected. You know, so much of healing is about feeling safe.
Absolutely.
It's getting back to safety and trust.
Yes.
So I always say, you know, worry and trust are opposite. Fear and faith are opposite. And so, you know, all of us are working on staying in more faith and more trust. And during this time, in this pandemic, really the whole promise of what's happening right now is to pull us up to a higher spiritual place, to have a deeper connection with God, whatever God is to you. And that's what's really happening right now. And so this work right now, this kind of work is so important. We're all healing these deeper layers 18 generations back, right?
Yeah.
You know, of this really, really old stuff that really isn't even yours. Forlorn, helpless. I mean, of course, they had, you know, probably no running water and no food. I mean, they lived a harder life, and we're so spoiled. So spoiled.
But I don't need to carry their stuff.
No, you don't. So it's the old sadness, the rejection, the helplessness, you know, the forlorn, the fear, the overwhelm, the shock. So all of that, again, was a liar, thief, and a fraud. Do I need to do a reading? I might have to do a reading. Killing, stealing hope, freedom, friendship, comfort to be given, trust, guidance, protection, success, confidence, gratitude, tolerance. So we're reclaiming all of that. So we're just going to say, destroy and uncreate any judgments, assumptions, projections, conclusions, decisions about the situation on your dad's side of the family, the 18 generation, you know, back patterns, whatever those patterns were, we release that now, let that go, allow you to be free, to feel empowered, to reclaim your life, to start with one step at a time, and to know that you can heal fully. Good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And we're just going to tap your foot again, Julie. Good job. Yay. Awesome. And I'm just going to say, Rockma, just to clear any energy. Okay, cool. All right. Did we get it? Yes. Awesome. Is there another string? No. Do we want to put the new program in? Do I need to do a reading for this ancestral thing? I'm going to find a book here on the floor real quick. Beginning. Is this one beginning, middle, something in the middle of this book? Sometimes when we do an ancestral clearing, I have to do a reading out of a book. And I literally just open up the book. Like I go, okay, is it the beginning, the middle, or the end? Okay, is it this paragraph? It is. So I'm going to have you just tap on your thymus gland, which is the bump underneath the notch in your neck. It's the seat of the soul. It's also the immune system gland. And I'm reading something out of the book called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And I'm in the middle of the book, really. It's on page 95. And what we're doing is we're clearing the old energy that's 18 generations back and another deeper level so that you can heal all the way and, you know that you can feel empowered and reclaim your life. It says, all you have to do to stop expecting the mind to fix what's wrong inside of you, That's the core, the root of it all. Your mind is not the guilty party. In fact, your mind is innocent. The mind is simply a computer, a tool. It can be used to ponder great thoughts, solve scientific problems, and serve humanity. But you, in your lost state, told it to spend its time conjuring up outer solutions for your very personal inner problems. You're the one who's trying to use the analytical mind to protect yourself from the natural unfolding of life. By watching your mind, you will notice that it's engaged in the process of trying to make everything okay. Consciously remember that this is not what you want to do. And then just gently disengage. Do not fight it. Do not fight your mind. You will never win. It will either beat you now or it will suppress it and will come back and beat you later. Instead of fighting the mind, don't participate in it. When you see the mind telling you how to fix the world and everyone in it in order to suit yourself, just don't listen. The key is to be quiet.
Beautiful.
Wow. Awesome. Did we successfully clear that old? Yeah, we did. Look at that. You're beaming. Wait till you see this tape.
So I have to share with listeners, I've done a lot of work, including ancestral. And this is not the first time that ancestor has come up. And so I'm excited because, and I keep thinking it, and I don't know, if you checked male, female, I get a male. As you said, we're so lucky when I think of what I've learned about that lifetime of that ancestor. And so I am lighter and excited because I have already done work around this and I've released a lot. Clearly there was more there to release, but I just want listeners to know that this is real. This may seem really far out there for people, that we do in fact have the opportunity to carry stuff that's not ours.
Yes.
Just not ours. And it's not necessarily from this lifetime. So there's like you said, layers. There's so many layers of work to do, but the strength and power of doing that work is, I always say that then the healing can be exponential. Really.
Yes. It's faster. It's absolutely fast. And you look different. So do you feel lighter?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. So
do.
there's like some weight that we just took off there, which is so
Yeah.
completely beautiful. And what I'm hoping too is not just for you, but anyone listening, because even though we're talking about like your family, it always seems like when I do group work too, I do big classes and big online events and stuff and in-person events, that whoever's the surrogate for the room, it moves out to everyone else.
Well, and that's my goal. And I had set this intention before we even hopped on Zoom today. It was, that it was always the goal is to serve whoever's listening, that they hear what they need to and they connect with. So yeah, I love the work that you are putting into the world. And you guys, Dr. Louise is the real deal. Really.
Thank you. I love it. I love it, so it's truly my passion. And again, watching even just your face get lighter, it just excites me that we could help, so that's really the goal. I'd like to do one more little thing. It'll take 2 minutes because what we did is we took out the trash. It's like we released the old stuff.
We need to put in the
other
new
piece of this is putting the new program in.
Yes.
And your new program is, hey, I know I can heal fully in those goals you said.
Yes.
So this is even going to look a little even more different. Okay. And I know that if you're just listening and you can't see this, I'm just going to describe to you that what I'm doing is I'm using numbers. It's math. It's the universal language. So numbers are the universal language. And these codes were given to me by my teacher, Dorothy. And so the codes for success will integrate into your energy field, like your energy field is like a computer. So it's putting in a new program in your biocomputer. Think of it as putting in a new McAfee program or a new, new virus program, okay, in your energy field, in your biocomputer. And it'll just take us 2 seconds here. So all we're going to do is say these, Julie. So I'm going to have you say, I know I can heal fully.
I know I can heal fully.
I tell myself, start with one step.
I tell myself, start with one step.
I reclaim my life.
I reclaim my life.
I feel empowered.
I feel empowered.
And what I'm doing is muscle testing those statements. And they should bring stress up because we didn't integrate them yet. And so this is called an integration, and we're putting these codes in your energy field. Okay. And then I'm going to give everyone some homework, and the homework will be doing something called Mind Gems, which is just 12 exercises that balance your brain that I have kids doing, adults doing, grandkids doing, and it just really helps you stay more aligned. So you're just going to hear me say some numbers right now. Okay. So that's what it's going to sound like. So it's 2, 3 love, 5, 3 forgiveness, 6, 5 choice, 9, 2 freedom, 4, 2 greater love. I just went down your left leg. 4, 2. I'll have you say this. Say, I have positive self-worth.
I have positive self-worth.
2, 2. I choose to succeed.
I choose to succeed.
4, 4. I choose to live in joy.
I choose to live in joy.
And 6, 2. I choose to live by the higher laws.
I choose to live by the higher laws.
Awesome. And then 1, 4, 7 is on your back side. Then I'm going to have you look at my X. 4, 5, 9, 6, 9, 6. These are rings. Consciousness ring, cranial ring. 8, 6, hearing ring. 6, 8, seeing ring. 3 to 9, 26 complete cycles, 5,859 times. 2 to 8, 23 complete cycles, 2,363 times. 3, 7, 5, 3, 7, 7, 4, 5, 8, 6, 4, 6, 9, 4, 6, 7, releasing trauma. 10, 5, 7, 8, 2, 8, 7, 7, 5, and the shock 1, 2, 3, place more peace, 5, 2, 37 complete cycles, 87,357 times, 2 to 8, 24, 32 times. 4, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 2. Awesome. Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Yay. Now you could you feel that?
I can.
Isn't that amazing? The
It
codes
is.
come through Zoom. I love that. So I'll just say that, say that last one again. Say, I feel empowered.
I feel empowered.
Awesome. And then we're going to lock it in. So the way we lock it in is put your hands above your head, like clasp them together. And if I was physically with you, I would try to pull them down in front of you and you would resist me. So it's called the lock. Okay.
Yep.
And then cone your fingers like you're making a little wand with your fingers on your right hand, and you're making a circle in front of your heart, and say the number 2, 2.
2, 2.
And then say, I choose to succeed.
I choose to succeed.
And then tap your belly button 8 times. That locks in those goals, your little intentions about healing fully.
Love that.
Cool, huh?
Yeah.
So that's the new program piece. And again, it's energy work. It's in the energy field, and it looks really funny when you first see it. And honestly, I almost walked out of the first class, but they were clearing trauma. I mean, they cleared trauma. I learned this 12 years ago, or maybe 13 now. And they were clearing trauma from an accident someone had. And I watched them literally change in the moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's too cool. I got to know what this is. So that's how it really all started.
And guys, she just shared it with you. So it is amazing. And those mind gems that you mentioned, I know the link for that gift for all the listeners is in the show notes. And I always ask what is one step, and you gave them their one step. You said that's their homework. So
yes, because this is powerful work, and you will spin out old energy. And so to help you do that, you need a tool. And Mind Gems literally takes less than 5 minutes to do.
I love it. Guys, that's your step. Do those mind gems. Before we wrap up, tell listeners where the best place to find you or connect with you is.
Best place to find me is on probably my website. I'm also on social media. It's louiseswartswalter.com. So, and I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I have a great podcast too. And we're going to have you on the Brain Soul Success Show. So we talk about, the brain and spirituality, and have great guests like Julie and other people on. So you can find that too on iTunes.
Love it. And guys, tune in. It is a great podcast. Dr. Louise, thank you so much. You probably blew a lot of minds today. You shared a lot of gems with us. And again, for the listeners out there who are really new to this world, I just have to say, because I have done so much work and studied myself and studied as well, Dr. Louise is the real deal. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. And thank you for being the surrogate for that process. For your audience too, Julie. I appreciate that. And thank you for having me. I love sharing.
My pleasure and my honor. For everyone listening, remember you can get the show notes and transcripts by visiting inspiredliving.show. I hope you had a great time and enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I will see you all next week.
Thank you for listening to Julie Michelson's Inspired Living with Autoimmunity. Did you enjoy this episode? Please like, share, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you'd like to get a transcript of this and every other episode, just head on over to inspiredliving.show or click on the link in this episode's description. There, you can also find everything we discussed in this episode, including links and information about our guest. You can even send in your questions to be answered by Julie in a future episode. That's inspiredliving.show. Until next time, this is Julie Michelson's Inspired Living with Autoimmunity podcast, helping you take your power back.